Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Yosef. We're finally back after 4 weeks of no video because there's such a thing as, you probably heard about it. It's called Pesach. Very busy week before, and a very busy week of, and a few days after. So Pesach is a major yontiv, and they had in Israel the maximum tourism ever. So, how is everybody? We are now back after 3 or 4 weeks of Pesach vacation. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, had the proper everything that you're supposed to eat on Pesach, and we ate a lot of matzah, and you know why it's called lechem oni? Because it makes you poor. At $24 a pound, woo, $3 a matzah. Well, anyhow, I guess you remember this, don't you? Oh, they are great. They taste great. And you know how much ekazayas is? They say half or a third. Depends how thick it is. If it's thick, it's hard to chew, but it doesn't crack. If it's thin like paper, it's easy to chew, but they're all shavurim. So, half or a third of this, and maybe a half or 3/4 of a machine matzah. And how much is a kos? How much do you have to drink? A revius. Is that this? No, this is not even 1 ounce. This is no good. Is it like this? Is this a revius? I don't think so. This is double chazon ish. It's about 10, 11 ounces. The right amount is about 3.7. This is exactly 3. That's 90% of the time you're Yosef with this. Because you have to judge what is a revius, a quarter of a lug. A lug is 6 eggs. Well, an average egg is 1.85. You know that? Well, if you don't measure it. And a revius is 1.5 eggs, so 1.85. Make it about 2, and 2, and a half of 2 is 3. 3 ounces, and most eggs are not 2 ounces. 1.85 is large. Jumbo is 2.5, so 2.5 and 1.5 of it, 2.5 is 1, 1.25 is 3.75. That would be less than this, 3.75. This is 4.4. This is 4.4. Less than this would be a jumbo, 1.5 eggs. If you take the jumbo eggs, the biggest one, the jumbo, I saw one this Pesach. Oh boy, 250 and 1.5 of that, because 1.5 eggs is a revius. 250 and 375. This is 4.4. Now, if you like alcohol and doesn't bother you, drink this. If you don't like alcohol, you don't like it, but it hurts you, don't drink the big amount. Drink 3.3 is if the egg is 1.85, because a lug is 6 eggs, and 6 times 2 is 12, and a revius, a quarter of 12 is 3. Fine. You want to be machmir a little bit. Very big chumrah, 4.4. No one drinks this unless you're going to be shikker. So if you like wine, if you don't mind alcohol, fine. Some people don't mind alcohol, but they can't take the sugar, so they don't drink any cream stuff. They take dry red. And white wine could be more expensive, but it's Sederite red. Has to do with Al Pi Kabbalah, Zohar, the red blood of the Egyptians. They were drowned. So it reminds us of that, and so that takes care of the kosos and the matzah. Pesach was a very strenuous and beautiful. Once it's done, it's fabulous. It's a lot of achila, sleeping and going to shul, and visit some friends. So Baruch Hashem, we went through that, and then we're into Omer now. And I told you, if you listen to Kol Haloshon, I told you how Ayin Mem Reish, Omer is 49. Yeah. You say, well, how could it be? Ayin Mem Reish. Reish itself is 200. You know, Ayin Mem Reish, which is 49 days, is 49. Not in Gematria, but there's another way. Not my business. I didn't make this up. Ancient. That has to do with the mispart in the Aleph Beis, the position in the Aleph Beis. Ayin and Mem and Reish. Ayin happens to be the 13th, the 16th letter from the beginning. Mem is the 13th, Well, 16 and 13 is 29. And Reish is 20, 20th position. 20 and 29 is 49. There you go. Omer is the 49 days of Omer. So now this Shabbos coming up, we have 3 or 4 things. It's Shabbos, Shmini, it's Shabbos Mevarachim, and Perik Aleph or Pirkei Avos. Pirkei Avos, you have to say 7 Pirkei Avos, only 6. So they added one on the end there. Then a brisa looks like the regular Pirkei Avos. Pirkei Avos in Avos, the Masechta Avos only has 6. So the last one is Shon Chacham Bilshon HaMishnah. That's a brisa. It looks like it's the same type of information. So the 7 weeks of Pirkei Avos, then we have Shavuos. Now the Chasam Sofer used to learn Masechta Shavuos from Pesach to Shavuos because it has 49 blot. Now, there's only one problem. Shavuos has nothing to do with Shavuos. Shavuos means the Masechta, oath in Bezdin if you swear falsely. What does that have to do with the Yom Tov of Shavuos? Nothing. But he used this period of Shavuos to learn Masechta Shavuos that had 49 blot. So you say, well, there must be some connection. Yes, there is a connection. We made a Shavuot at Har Sinai to keep the Torah. Now we're going to the Yom Tov of Kabbalas HaTorah. Are we keeping that Torah? That we made a Shavuot at Har Sinai to keep the Torah? Are we making our whole life a false Shavuot? A Shavuot Shav or a Shavuot Sheker? We're going to the Yom Tov of Kabbalas HaTorah. By the way, the Yom Tov coming up Shavuos has few names. Zaman Matan Torah Seinu. Why not Yom Matan Torah Seinu? Why Zaman? Because it took a whole period. They had to get ready for 3 days, and then there was Kabbalas HaTorah on a Friday. Then was Matan Torah on Shabbos, because the first Shavuos was on the 7th of Sivan. Every single Shavuos since then, 33 centuries, we do the 6th of Sivan. But the first one was 7th of Sivan, because Moshe asked Hashem to give him an extra day to get the Eden ready, so it came out on Shabbos, the 7th of Sivan. Every Shavuos since then, it comes out on whatever day, but it's going to be the 6th of Sivan. So the day before Matan Torah was Kabbalas Torah. You cannot send a person a package unless he signs that he wants to go drive up for the gas, you put in your credit card, then they give you the goods. Or online, you pay, and then they ship it to you. You cannot ship something, give something to a person if he doesn't want it. First came Kabbalas HaTorah, Nasav and Ishma. Even the 2 scoundrels said that. Dosan and Aviram. They didn't have any problem with Hashem. They had a problem with Moshe. They didn't like rabbinic law, the Apokarsim. Because you don't accept rabbinic law through Chazal, you have nothing, zero. No, you don't have something, you have nothing. Because the Torah, Shabbal Pel, explains to you what Hashem meant. You can't know what he meant by reading the Torah, you have no idea. Even the first word doesn't mean in the beginning. Because Hirsch says it means from the beginning. And Rashi says, the first Rashi says, if you meant in the beginning, you would say Borishona. So the first word doesn't even mean in. It means from the beginning. We don't know when the beginning started. Could have, for those 6 days, Sheish Bracious could have been millions of years. Hirsch explains it. Okay. Anyhow, so the world is 5772 from the first Shabbos. What happened to Sheish Bracious, we have no clue. Because there was a light, and there was no light, and the 4th day made another light, the sun. So something very big happened at that time. And the second pasuk says, Ruach Elokim rachefes al pnei hamayim. When did he make Mayim? Didn't say that. So it must have been there for ages and centuries and eons and millions of years. Anyhow, that's something else. So now, you know, Chasam Sofer learned Masechta Shavuos till Shavuos, because that's about oath. It's nothing about the Yom Tov Shavuos. And Shavuos is Zman Matan Torah Seinu 3 days before, and then the Friday was the 6th of Sivan, Kabbalas Torah. We won it, Nasav and Ishma. Then next day they got it. And then you have, it's called, it has a few names. And then we start learning Pirkei Avos this week. It's very important. Now let's go back to Pesach for a minute. Did you learn Shir Hashirim, or did just those 12 minutes, and that was it for the year? Those 15 minutes that the Chazan said it. You're looking in the English there or something, or maybe Chaz V'Sholom talking to your friend. That's the whole Shir Hashirim. Shir Hashirim has 8 chapters, and Hashem's name is not in it. You ever wonder why? Gilus Esther, Hashem's name is not in it either. Ever wonder why? And why is there a big shin at the beginning of Shir Hashirim? And Shir Hashirim, how many Shirim are there? 10 of them. This is one of them. and Oz Yoshim Moshe is another one of them, and Hazina Shemaim is another one of them, and Shiraz Devorah is another one of them, and Shiraz David on his son, that was another one of them. There are 10 Shirim. 9 have been sung already. The 10th we're going to sing now when Mashiach comes. Shir Osa Lovo. Anyhow, so we have to get to the Parsha of Shmini. Now we're at the Shmini. I want to tell you something very interesting. When Shir HaShirim is read 8 times, like this year, then the year will be very fertile. Shmini, Shmono, Shmeina. When Shmini will be read 8 times, like this year, then Shmona, the land, the season will be very fertile. Means, isn't it true this last winter we had tremendous amount of rain in Eretz Yisrael? Never had that for years and years. Shmini is being read 8 times. We read it 3 weeks ago on Shabbos afternoon, the week before Pesach. Then we read Monday and Thursday of that week, part of Shmini. That's 3. Then we read it the first day Pesach, Shabbos and afternoon. Because Shabbos afternoon, you're laying the week to do it, the Seder, nothing to do with Yom Tov. And then we read it this week right now, 2 times Monday, Thursday, and we read the last Shabbos, 3 Shabbosos, and 4 Mondays and Thursdays, that's 7. And we're going to read it this Shabbos completely, 8th time. When every Shmini is read Shmona times, Shmeina, the land is very fertile. Last winter, there was a tremendous rain in Eretz Yisrael. Now, does that really hold up? Let's take a look. When was the last, well, it happened, Pesach has to come out Friday night, because the last night of Pesach is also Shabbos. When the Pesach starts and ends with Shabbos, then you read Shmini, Shmona time. Now, and that's true, but was it always fertile? It has to do with Shmini, Shmona, it has to do with if Kislev and Tevis is 29 and 30, or 30, 29, or 29, 29, 30, 30, or it has to do with the second variable, is it a leap year, Shana Muberis or not, and a lot of things. So, all I can tell you is that 1992, Pesach came out, the first day was Shabbos, and the last day was Shabbos. And then 1998, that's 6 years, that's the same way. Now, from 98 to 2012, this year was 14 years. I'd like to know 14 years ago, 1998, in Israel, if they had tremendous rain. I'd like to know. If anyone could find out, please call me on my cell right here, 845-826-4789. In 1998, 14 years ago, in Israel, was there tremendous rain? I don't think so. And before that, in 1992, 6 years before 98, was there a lot of rain in Israel? You know when it's going to happen again? First Shabbos and last Shabbos is going to be first day of Pesach and the last day of Pesach on Shabbos. You know when? It's going to happen again in 3 years from now, 2015. And then in 1 year after that, 2016. And 2 years after that, 2018. And 1 year after that, 2019. And 3 years after that, 2022. I don't know if it's, all I know this year it worked. Shmini, Shmona, Shmeina. All right. Let's go into Shmini. By Yom Shmini, it was on the 8th day. Now, 8th day of what? Why don't you tell me? You know that Moshe acted as Kohen Gadol for 7 days. The 23rd day of Adar, for 7 days to Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And that's the 8th day, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So why don't you tell me that? Why do you have to tell me 8th day and have to go through all kinds of Parshas to find out it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan? Why don't you tell me? Says the Klei Yakar, 8 is very important. What day of the month or year was not important. 8 is very important. 8 means eternity. Moshe put up the first Mishkan. Then we had the first base of Mikdash. That's number 2. Then we had the second base of Mikdash, number 3. We're going to have a fourth one. A fourth building, a third base of Mikdash. That will be forever. Infinity is 8. You know the 8 sign is an infinity, same thing. As Shmona's forever. That's why the bris is on the 8th day. The child is guaranteed Olam Haba. He'll go to Gehenna, and maybe if you did have it, it'll come out. It's like you send your suit to a dry cleaner. Super steam cleans it out. That's the cleansing process. It probably comes out clean at the end. If you're a tzaddik, you don't go to Gehenna. You suffer right here. If you're a little bit didn't do tshuva here, they send you to the cleaners, Gehenna, and then you have eternal life. Unless you knowingly, violently did chayve krisos, where the soul is destroyed, or you die young, or you die without children, or your children die. It's car race, free choice to do that. But 8 is always preserved. It says that Moshe, the Avram Avinu, stands at the mouth of Gehenna, doesn't let any child come in, any human being that had a bris on the 8th day. That's why you have to have it on the 8th, not 7th or 9th. If the child's sick, then you do it weeks later. That's the 8th day. That's the day you're supposed to have it, even if it's months later. That becomes the 8th day, the first day you're able to have it. So, 8 is very important. Shmini, Shmena, has to do with eternity. Very important. Chai, life. Yud Ches, 18. Anyhow, even Hashem's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Now, I mean, the word Echad. Echad is 1, but it's 13, and 1, 3 is 4. 4 meters, and it's 4 letters, and 3 and 4, it's at 18. And 1 and 8 is 9. Everything in Torah is true. 9 is emes. You know that. Aleph, Mem, Tov is Aleph, Mem, 4, and Tov is 4. It's 9. Everything that's true is 9. Everything that's sheker is 6. Sheker, Shin is 1, Kuf is 1, and Reish is 2. Shin is 3, I'm sorry, and Kuf is 1 is 4, and Reish is 2 is 6. 6 is sheker. Okay, let's go down. Let's go. Shmini was on the 8th day, which is Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Moshe called to Aaron and his sons, the Ziknei Yisrael, the elders of Yisrael, the 70. Means the 58 elders and the 12 Roshim of the Nisim. 58, 12, or 70. Ziknei Yisrael. V'yomer el Aaron kach lecho. The Egel, take for yourself an Egel. He's the first time now. He's doing the Karbonos the first time. Moshe did the Karbonos for 7 days. He put up the Mishkan, took it down, did Karbonos, showed Aaron how to do it. He acted as a Kohen Gadol for 7 days. The 8th day he put it up and didn't take that Mishkan down. Aaron had to, the Levim had to take it down. But now it's the first time Aaron had to take over to be a Kohen Gadol. Moshe wanted to keep his job as Kohen Gadol. And over there in the last week, Tzav, 3 weeks ago, when we laid Tzav, it says Moshe shechted a certain animal, Vayishcha Ashal Sheles. On the word Vayishcha, that's the last time Moshe shechted any animal until when the dedication of the Mishkan was over, until he gave over to Aaron. He really wanted to stay on. That's why he said Shal Sheles, a chain. He wanted to hang on to he wanted to be the Kohen Gadol, but Hashem said, no. You kept me waiting at the sneh 7 days. I wanted to make you the Kohen Gadol and your brother, the Levi. But I'm going to make you the Levi and him the Kohen Gadol. You kept me waiting at the sneh. So that's why Moshe really wanted to not to shech the last animal. That's why he said Shal Sheles. He really would like to continue being Kohen Gadol. That's why it's like a lingering trop. We have 4 times in the Torah Shal Sheles. The first time is by Lot. The Malachim wanted to get him out of there, and he lingered to get his money, because he went, but he did get his money. Came out with his hands on top of his head. He had penniless. He was the richest man in Sodom. He was the mayor. So by Yismamo, he was thinking over, I'm going to lose all the money. The second time, it says by Eliezer, getting a wife for your Yitzchak. It says, he said in his heart, when I at the well there, I hope Hashem will make the girl come over here and give me water, give me the animals water, and she'll say this, you have enough water, I'll give you animals too, she'll say this, and I'll answer that. He thought about it, he really didn't want it to happen. He wanted Yitzchak to marry his daughter. That's what he really wanted. Hope it wouldn't happen that the girl will say this. So he thought it over. He was Nogei B'Dover. So was Lot. Now we get to Yosef with Eishes Potiphar. Maybe his Torah wasn't given yet, and she said to him, we're going to be in Gan Eden together, which was true, partially. She saw in her astrology was not really her, was his daughter who he married, Osnas. So it wasn't her daughter. She adopted Dina's illegitimate daughter, because before Matan Torah went after the husband, Shechem's daughter. It was she had to convert the Osnas back to 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noah. So he was thinking about it for a minute with Eishes Potiphar. Tzaddikim are not people don't have Yetzer Haras. Tzaddikim have people have tremendous Yetzer Haras. Called a God Mechaveira Yitzra God Leimenu. Had a tremendous Yetzer Hara. But then they think it over, and after a few seconds, they do the right thing. What was the word over there? No, not Vayismamo, Vayomar, Vayismamo. He refused her, but it took a few seconds of thinking it over. Tzaddikim have tremendous Yetzer Hara. If you're bigger than your friend, you have a bigger Yetzer Hara, but you have ways how to get out of it because you know the other side of the equation. He refused, but he had a little Yetzer Hara. Maybe yes, we ran out the last minute. He saw his father's picture in the window. I remember Yosef and his father looked the same. Two people can help you get over in this soyom. All by yourself, it's very hard. He saw his father's face in the glass window. Yosef, he said, watch yourself. Yeah, all the lumdis, it's all heter, maybe, before Matan Torah, and she's really not an Eishes Ish, because Ish's Bagoyim. We have all the lumdis in the world. Yes. But he wouldn't be Yosef Atzadik. He'd be one of these other Balchus, like Reuben. Like Yehuda. Not Yosef Atzadik. Yosef Atzadik's stone was that black stone there, on the Seres and Dibros there. Shoham, they were right over here. All the 12 Shvatim were on him. He was the Tzadik Yisod Olam. They're written on his. He's a tremendous Tzadik. Balchul is wonderful, but you can't take over and run the world. To be the Tzadik Yisod Olam, you got never did it. He thought it over, and it took him a few seconds, then he ran away. All right, so there's 4 shal shelters. This is the last one, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Now, so he took an egel, which is to remind him of the egel that he did. They forced him to make an egel. So he says there, Yomar El Aaron Katlucha Egel Ben Bakar, over a year old, because Ben Bakar is 354. That's how many days are in a Jewish year. So it was over 1 year, but it wasn't a par. It wasn't 3 years. It was between 1 and 3. That's 2-year-old. Egel Ben Bakar lechatos korban chatos. Va'ayil and Aran le'olah for a korban olam. Tamimim, perfect ones. Va'akrev l'fnei Hashem, bring them before Hashem. El b'nei Yisrael tadav aleim, and to b'nei Yisrael say, Kechu seir izim, take a goat for a chatos. Why not like Aaron? Aaron took an egel. Well, Aaron made the egel, but they had azuz ponim. They forced him to do it. But take the seir, a goat, izim. They had the chutzpah to urge him. Because when the Erev Rav, 3,000 of them, new converts from Egypt, made this egel, why did Bnei Yisrael jump on them and kill them? They were doing Avodah Zarah. They did the Haggadah 40 days ago. That Torah. Not 40 years, 40 days. From the 7th of Sivan to the 17th of Tammuz. Moshe smashed the luchos. 40 days. So why didn't they jump them and kill them? So Bnei Yisrael chayiv. So they're not the first line perpetrators, but they watched it go on. They didn't jump them, didn't make a protest. When you have something, if someone beats up your mother, you make a protest. You don't talk, you bop them. Hello, you know what to do in an emergency. So why did they do something to that Erev Rav? So they're chayiv. What do they call that? You're an accessory to the crime. Kechu seir izim, take seir izim, do to your azuz panim as a chatos. The egel and the egel, because you didn't do anything, an egel came out. Egel the keves b'nei shon to me la'olam karma olam v'shor v'ayel l'shlomim, and bring a bull and a ram for shlomim. Now you have here chatos ola shlomim. Let's see how that works. Chatos ola shlomim always works like that. Chatos, expiate yourself from sin. Ola, elevate yourself now above that low madrig, and shlom make shalom with Hashem. You first take a shower, chatos, get rid of the sin. Then you get your clothes on. That's Ola, you elevate yourself, beautiful clothes. Then you go out to the party, you meet your friends at the bris, the chasna, whatever. Then you make shlomim, you socialize. Chatos. Clean yourself, that's like a shower. Ola. Dress up very refined. You're not naked, you can dress. Ola, you elevate yourself. Then comes shlomim. Make shalom, associate with people, reconnect with Hashem. Chatos odom shlomim. There's boach, lifnei Hashem, mincha, blula b'shem, and oil mixed with oil, flour mixed with oil. Ki hayom Hashem, ki hayom, today, Hashem nira lechem will appear to you. Today, first day of Nisan. Nir-ah, because of Aharon, because Nir-ah is the letters Aharon, because of his chus. Aleichem. appear to you. Aleichem is Michael, the angel. Whenever there's a Kohen Gadol down here, there's an angel on top. When there's a Mishkan here, there's a Mishkan on top. Whenever it's here, down here, there's a spiritual form of that in Shemayim. And they took what Moshe commanded to Bnei in front of the Ohel Moed, and they got assembled, Kol Edom, they stood before Hashem. Whole Ha'edah? Now wait a minute, Rabbi Yisrael. In front of the Mishkan, Kol Ha'edah? The whole chutz is 100 by 50, and the half of that is the Mishkan in the back part. It's only 10 by 30. That's in the back 50 by 50. In the front 50 by 50 is empty. Well, 50 times 50 is 2,500. How many people can fit there? Well, every person's dollar amos. You got your hand 6 feet this way, that way. So 6 into 2,500. 50 times 50 is 2,500. Is 625 people. How could 625,000 be there? You say, how's it 600,000? 25? Yeah, 603,000 Yidden, male between 20 and 60, and 22,000 Sheva Levi, not counted here. 603 and 22, 625,000. How does 625,000 people stand in a place that's only fit for 625,000 to 1? That's a few places in the Torah you see that a mokom miut is able to handle a large amount. Apines. As Moshe said to them later, Hashem is going to bless you. Hashem Yivarach Elef Tomim 1,000 times. 1,000 people will stand in a place of only one person. 1,000 to 1, that's what it is. 625 to 625,000. Hashem Yirbaskham will increase you 1,000 times. So you see, your soil's beyond space. We're not bound by laws of space or beyond time. We're still here, 5772. And we're the smallest nation in the world, 15 million. The Muslims are billions, and the Christians are billions, and the Buddhists are billions, and the Hindus are billions. We're 15 million, and we're still here. And we're before the first Buddhist or Hindu. We started when Abraham was born, 1948. That's 4,000 years ago. When he figured out the whole Torah of the world was 2,000 years old at the age of 52. Well, 2,000 to now is a long time. Oh, it's a long time. Throughout 33 and more, almost 4,000 years, and we're still around on the front page every day. The laws of nature is only this. How you survive is the survival of the fittest, strongest, tallest, biggest. We're not the strongest. We're the weakest. We're not the biggest. We're the smallest. We're least shaykh to survive, and our very existence is a nace. Till today, if you can't figure that out, you haven't got out of bed. This is the biggest nace of Amunas HaTorah is that we exist today. A lamb and a lion's den, they all tried to devour us. They're gone, we're here. The night of Pesach, 7th night of Pesach, 600 chariots, which each one had 3 horses. Shlishim al-Kulon, 1,800 horses. And other chariots, all dead, and we're still here. They wanted to kill us. One year died, they all died. And Sancheiriv wanted to attack the first base of Mikdash 125 years before the Churban Bayis Rishon. He came with 185,000 soldiers, all dropped dead in one night. Sancheiriv survived with his 3 sons. The Egyptians, they didn't have a pharaoh after Tzias was trying for 400 years. They had a woman pharaoh. They were so desperate. They were finished. Then came this Sheva Amim in Eretz Yisrael. We wiped them all out in 7 years. Then came the Babylonians. They're gone. We're still here. Then came the Greeks. They're gone. We're still here. Then came the Romans. They're gone. We're still here. Then came the 1,000-year Reich of that man, that insane man. He wasn't insane at all. He was an evil genius. 12 years it lasted, 1933 to 45, till he had to blow his head off with a gun in April 15th. By the way, Iyar says when he shot himself. Iyar 17th. Aleph could write it with one yud. Aleph yud reish. Shem Elokecha Rofecha. Aleph Elokim. Hashem Ado. Aleph Adonai. Yud. No. Yeah. No. How you say that? Aleph yud reish. Elokim. Hashem Ato. Hashem Rofecha. Aleph Ato. Yud Kid Kivav. Ato Hashem Rofecha. You're our healer. You help us. In the 17th of No, Sivan next month. Eor, Yashem and Hashem Rafecha, I take care of all your problems. Hitler blew his head off. The 18th day, which is Lag BaOmer, is Goering blew his, committed suicide. And interesting, right? And Stalin on Purim died in 1953. So the Adar is a great month. Nisan is a great month. Iyar is also going to be a great month. We don't know how. We have no way to figure it out. All right. So now let's go back. Hashem will appear to you today. They took this and they stood in front of the Oel Moed. I told you how 625 people could stand in place of 625,000 people could stand in a place of 625. And when Eliezer went to find a wife for Yitzchak, didn't he leave and came the same day? How did he go 17-day trip in 1 minute? Huh? How did he do that? And when he went to Lavan, it was just there. And we had Kfitza Saderech, space and time is meaningless for Yisrael. We're beyond space and beyond time. Called Kfitza Saderech. It's just there. He's just there. And when Yidden left Mitzrayim, they went from Ramses to Sukkos. 120 mil, they made it in 1 hour. 120 mil? 90 miles. That's a 3-day trip. They made it one shwach in 1 minute. Kfitza Saderech. Some tzaddikim, maybe somebody knows somebody. Certain times in life you travel and all of a sudden you're there. You just really don't really know how it happened. You're just there. You really didn't feel you traveled that long. It happens to people. We're beyond time and space. We're still here today. V'yamdu lefnei Hashem. In this little area, 50 by 50. Now that's only if you talk about 600,000 males. What about the rest of the people? There's people below 60 and above 60 and women. Everyone had a wife or two, and daughters and children and son. Maybe a minimum of 3.5 million people. They stood in a place. That's more than 1,000 to 1. That's 5,000 to 1. How does that work? See, when you start thinking about Torah, you have problems. When you don't think, you have no problems at all. Life is simple because you're simple. Once you start thinking about how deep stuff goes, it's not simple at all. It's like everything, your hand looks clean. You washed it with alcohol and soap. You scrubbed it. It looked fabulous. Why don't you put your finger under a microscope and see how clean it is? Where those little microscopic organisms came from. It only looks clean because you don't have insight. This is our microscope, 20 million power microscope. It lets you see deep into the Torah. So they stood before Hashem. Then Moshe says, nothing is happening, no Shechina. Moshe said, well, this is what's going to happen. Do this thing, go check your animals. And maybe God will appear to you. I hope he does. Then they didn't appear, so Moshe said to Aaron, Karav el ha-mizbeach. Go to the Mizbeach. Mizbeach ha-chitzon, the outside one. Do your chatos. Now, on top of the letter Reish, some Chumoshim doesn't have it. It should be, according to the Baal Turim, 2 horns, 2 tagin. Reish, Rosh. He looked at the Mizbeach like the head of a bull that has 2 horns, or a head of a deer, or an ayil, a ram, 2 horns. The 4 corners of the Mizbeach. Now, the 2 of them looked to Aaron very, very, very not able to approach. Remember, an egel that he did eventually grows up to be a bull. He was ashamed. Maybe the Shekhinah is not coming because it's aggressive against me. Korab, get close. Reish, top of the reish is 2 katagin, like the rosh of a egel, a bull, because the big egel is a bull. Go to the Mizbeach. You do your chatos. You call it Allah. The chaper by the coin, the tone for yourself. For the people, you have the coin go. You have the chaper that they didn't stop the Erev Rav. Do the korban the chaper by them and the tone for them. Kasha Tziv Hashem, the God commanded. Vayikar Aaron, Vayakrev Aaron el Mizbeach, and Aaron got close to the Mizbeach. Vayishchat for the first time, he shechted. Es egel achatos ashelo, his egel. From his own money. B'yikavru b'nei Aaron es Adom, they brought him the blood, his sons. Eilav to him, Yitbal, that's why he put his finger in it, because the chatos you have to touch blood with your finger. That's called hazoya. But for all other korbanos, you put it in a keli, a sprinkler that has holes around it, you sprinkle it. Zrika. That's for shlomim, that's for olad. But if you did a chet, personally, you're involved in the chet, that's chayiv koreis. By the way, you only been carbon chatos on one of the 36 of the 365 chatoim that have koreis. We just finished learning Sefter Creases. There's 36 averos that if you do that with warning and mazit and everything, you know what you're doing, you get your chayiv koreis. But if you do other things, also not chayiv koreis, eating chaz is not koreis, wearing shatnez is not koreis, but the 36 of the 365 that are koreis, which means if you did it, you know you did it, but there's no edim, you bring a korban chatos. If there's edim, you did it b'mezid, you don't bring any korbanos. If you did it by yourself, it's koreis, and if you get memalkus, you take away the koreis. And you only bring a korban if you did it b'shogeg. If you did it b'mezid, there's no korbanos for mezid. Because mezid is not an animal. You're bringing an animal. You identify yourself with an animal who lives by instinct. You followed your instinct without learning Torah. You just did what you felt. You live like behemoth. You bring a behemoth. But no animal ever did anything b'mezid against its nature. Human beings kill for fun. You're not my religion, I kill you. Sharks don't eat fish, little fish, when they're not hungry. They don't kill for pleasure. Therefore, if you did something b'mezid, you don't bring korbanos. How can you identify with an animal? There's 4 exceptions to where you bring a korban b'mezid if you learn creases. Shvua sheker, shvua shav, and 2 other things. But normally you never bring any korbanos for any aver you did b'mezid. Mezid, you do tshuva, you don't bring korbanos. You chatos. You bring a chet, you did it by accident, you didn't know, you were uneducated, you were not informed, you were forced, you're not aware. Now you follow your instincts like a behemoth. You bring a behemoth. Anyhow, for chatos you sprinkle with your finger because you did the averim. Chatos, sprinkle it. You did averim, you should have known, that's why you're guilty. You should have known, you should have learned, you wouldn't have done it. You put it on the 2, one corner here, one corner here, catty corner, because this corner is 2 sides and this corner is 2 sides. As Adam, the rest of the dam, Yotzakal, you saw it there. You poured it out at the foundation of the bed, went in the ground, disappeared. There's Achelev and the suet. That's what you're not allowed to eat, but you put it on the mizbeach. Isn't that interesting? Something that you get koris for eating it is you put it on the mizbeach. We're not allowed to blow shofar from a treva animal or ready to say for Torah, film the mezuzahs on the behemoth tameya. So how can you can't do a mitzvah with something that's usher? So how could you bring on the mizbeach chelev, which is koris if you eat it? Woo! Listen to Kol HaLashon. I explained it 50 times already. Because it's brought on the mizbeach, therefore you can't use it, eat it. Really? You bring meat on the mizbeach and you eat it? Oh, so it says Kol Chelev, the Kol Dam Lo Sochelu. All of it. Why don't you just say Dam Lo Sochelu? Kol Dam is a negative against the negative. Kol, no. Chelev, no. Kol, none of it. And Miyad Achamiyad, the negative to negative means a positive. To me, -3 times -4 is +12, you know that? So that means all chaylev and all dam you can eat. That means you can't eat the chaylev of a kosher animal that's not a behemoth, like a deer. Alright, that's something else. But chaylev, why is it on mizbeach? But you can't eat it because you brought it on mizbeach. You have to dedicate your chaylev represents fat, your luxuries to Hashem. Alright, we can't go into that again. That was all about korbanos in the beginning of the parsha. That's that cloyus in the kidneys, that yoseris in the diaphragm, and a kovet that's over the liver. By the way, you know why the kovet is called liver? Kovet, turn the letters around, you get bodak. The liver, bodak, checks out the blood, it purifies the blood. Bodak, kovet, menachatos, of the sin offering. You have to vaporize it, smoke it up on his bed. That's a boss, that's an or, but the meat and the flesh, sort of burn it up outside the camp. Nothing on the mizbeach is burnt; it's all vaporized. Everything you don't want is outside the camp, burnt in a fire. When on the mizbeach it only smokes. All right. We're finished for this little shir. If you want to hear more shiurim detailed, passing by passing. Today is Wednesday. We're up to today we go to Kol HaLashon. You hear it in the Yom Revi Wednesday. But on Torah anytime I can't do it every day, only once a week. So I wish you all a very good week, and have the effect of Pesach have effect on you. Count the Omer. Remember, you're working yourself up to a highest madrega from 49 levels of Tumah to the highest. You're at the highest peak of Kedusha, the Kabbalah Torah, on the 50th day. By the way, Kabbalah Torah is the 49th day. The Matan Torah is on the 50th day. Sei gesund.